Thank you.
Awesome. Let me take this off. It's so nice to be part of this. I said I was part of the last session. It was excellent.
Excellent.
Thank you for inviting me here. If you want me to go on, I have 20 minutes. I could just go straight.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Okay, perfect. First, I want to thank you, Mr. Peter, for inviting me. It's always an excellent opportunity to be able to share my experience and to be able to add my own quota. I want to tell everyone here, I'm here today because teachers believed in me, right from primary school up to recently, because recently I still went to school. It's because teachers believed in me from time to time. That has actually prompted me to become who I am today. So today I'm going to share a story because I have a very short period of time. I want to share a scenario about an animal. An animal I consider to be stronger than the lion or the leopard or the jaguar or the cheetah. The animal I'm going to share about today is called the hyena. The hyena is one unique animal. It's part of the dog family. They never get full. They are always unsatisfied, always eating. And because they always eat, there's always the need to continue to hunt. The other part of it is that the hyena is the only animal that can take food from the mouth of a lion. If you've not seen an hyena before, please go to YouTube. You can watch a lot of videos about them. They can wait for a lion to kill the animal. And immediately after the lion has killed the animal, you see these 5 or 6 or 10 hyenas shows up. And then within a short period of time, they're able to wrestle the animal from the lion or the cheetah or the jaguar. The unique thing about them is that even if the lion is not careful, the lion can also get eaten in the process. And that shows a lot of strength when you look at the animal. I know it's hated by a lot, but for me, it's an animal that shows a high level of resilience, a high level of dogmaticness, where they are driven. There is no story. They want to eat food. They must eat the food. If it takes them doing anything, they're going to eat it. Now that I've actually talked about the story, let me look at some of the lessons that you can learn and bring into our personal life for us to be strong, for us to be target driven, for us to be tunnel vision in the way we engage with our life. One of the unique things about them is that they start small and build momentum. You will see a pack of 5, they see a buffalo, they know they may not be able to go and eat the buffalo, or better still, kill the buffalo. They go close to a lion. They allow the lion do all the dirty work, and after that, they show up. So again, in our personal life, we can actually start small and build momentum. Another thing that works for them is that they've got teamwork, because they know that individually, if they engage a lion should be able to eat them quickly and devour them, and then they instead of eating, they get eaten. They are able to work in group of 5 or in group of 10. So always leveraging in group power. So let me tell everybody here. As they said your net worth is determined by your network is determined by your net worth, or better still, your net worth will be determined by your network. What is that? You need to spend more time to build a strong network, a strong group, a strong level of ally who you can always leverage on. We, even here in Canada, in the US, in the UK, some of the benefits we're enjoying today has to do with the people who we are leveraging on, the shoulders of giants we worked upon. And one of the shoulders of giants I worked upon was on Mr. Peter's shoulders. I remember in those days when I used to go to his library and read all day. It was all the books I read all those days that built me and gave me the background, the foundation to who I am today. Another thing I want to talk about, tell you about them, feature about them, is efficiency. They are so efficient. They do not waste their energy chasing down the prey. They do not waste their energy doing the kill. They waste their energy targeting the animal that has just killed the animal they want to eat. And the other part of them are how efficient they are is that they are not very fast. They're not as fast as a cheetah. They're not as fast as a lion. But they are consistent. So they can consistently run slowly and outrun every other animal and still eat the meat. How does it relate to us? Our willingness to consistently put in effort, consistency. Now, a consistent runner will always do far better than a speed or a dash runner. So let me give you an example. I remember when I was trying to succeed, I tried football. And in my engagement in trying to play football then in Ebeda, I went to train with some of them. And I wanted to prove, when we got to the stadium that I had a lot of energy. So when it was time to run around the field, I went on a, very fast pace. I started running, run, beat everybody just to show that I was I was good at what I did. By the time it got to the third lap, my heart was almost pulling out of my chest. Then the coach called me outside and told me that it was not the speed at which I was running that really mattered. It was the consistency in pace. Again, how does it relate to us? The willingness to consistently add little by little by little, one line after the other, pace by pace, precept by precept, principle by principle, will make us get to where we are going to. So that means you should be more systemic in what you're doing. Another thing I know about them is that they're very purposeful. They are not here to prove to you they're the strongest animal. They are not here to prove to you that they are the smartest. They run faster, nothing. There's just one purpose in their head: to eat food. So also all of us here from today can actually have a clear purpose, just one clear purpose. And one of the clear purpose could be to be the best teacher in Nigeria. There's no storytelling. There's no paparazzi about it. I want to be the best biology teacher in Nigeria. So when they're looking for a biology teacher, after all said and done, everybody beats back to where you are. So if you have that kind of clear purpose, obviously nobody can stop you, and you put in all the effort over a period of time. Second to last part of it is tunnel vision. They are very clear. There's only one vision, one objective they're pursuing. And I want to tell everybody here today, I know people to say we do a lot of multitasking and the rest of them. I do not necessarily believe in it. There are situations where those things succeeded. In life, a tunnel vision could actually make all the difference. The clarity of purpose, where you just have one thing or a group of stuff you're pursuing, and you put everything you have into it. And you, just like we're talking about having lesson plan and having goals and the rest of them, you are able every time to go back to those goals, which is your tunnel vision, and assess yourself on probably quarterly basis or monthly basis and ask yourself, am I taking the right actions? Am I taking the right steps towards achieving those specific goals? If you're not, it's not a problem. You can always come back and redesign and reevaluate and re-engage consistently. So like myself, I have a whole diary where once every month, I go back to those diary and look at, okay, number 1, number 2, number 3. I've not done anything about it, but I've spent more time doing number 4, 5, and 6. I have to reinvent and come back and then do 1, 2, 3. If you live those kind of purposeful life over a short period of time, you would see that you've moved from where you are today to where you are this month, and say, where have I moved? Have I learned something new? Am I walking towards that purpose which I'm pursuing? And the last part I want to then raise characteristics is what they call, is what they do. The hyenas, they laugh. So no matter how bad the hunting process was, they laugh. In fact, by laughing and making the lion's life miserable, the lion get frustrated and most of the time leave the meat for them. So one of the things we would have to do naturally in life to be resilient is celebrating ourselves, celebrating every small win, ensuring that from time to time we enjoy the process and not just the outcome. Now, I want to then pull this back into how we sort ourselves out, because at the end of the day, if I've said all these things, it's just good story. If we don't know how it relates to us, it has not led to anything. One of the things I want everybody to do here from today is to go and do a personal SWOT analysis. Again, it's called a personal SWOT analysis. So you want to say, what is a SWOT analysis? It's an analysis that talks about your strengths, your opportunities, your strengths, your weakness, your opportunities, and your threats. Every individual should have that document, and that would actually set them up for success. So you go back to your house, you take a whole board, a piece of paper, and say, what are my strengths? You list them down. What are some of my weaknesses? What are the threats outside there? And what are the opportunities? I could tell you one that will shock you. Now, I know we've spent the past days talking about the teachers' conference and the rest of them. And I know that the sponsor of this program, which is Facebook, are coming up or have come up with a new concept entirely, which is going to revolutionize the whole world. It is called the Metaverse. The Metaverse carries both strength, opportunity, weakness, and threats to teachers. because shortly you would have people attending school in Finland, even though they are there with you. You will see a child in primary school actively attending a school in Finland. The question we should then ask ourselves as teachers today is, how are we preparing to integrate the concept of metaverse into today's learning? You can't wait until they've moved the school there and then start reacting to it. You need to be able to see the future, which is expecting what is going to happen, and then start taking all the plans, start making all the necessary actions, start taking all the necessary action to ensure that you're skilled enough to take advantage of those opportunities. What are some of those actions you need to take? There are loads and loads and loads of lectures and videos on YouTube that talks about metaverse. You need to equip yourself currently with everything that is being done and start channeling yourself towards that opportunity. Let me shock you. If you set yourself up clearly for success by taking these clear actions, when metaverse becomes what it ought to be in 5 or 6 years from now, you will be one of the best in the world. Automatically, you will be rich. You will get paid in dollar terms for the services you're providing. But if you wait until then before you start taking actions, guess what? You are already late in the market. And automatically, that is what leads to poverty. Another thing I want to talk about again is self-development. We talked about starting small and building momentum, consistent momentum. One of the things I did when I was a bit younger than this was, even till today, is to apportion a part of my salary every month is taken for my personal learning. There's no negotiation about it. If it takes pulling up that tithe and that offering, pull all of them and reinvest them into yourself so that you can pay a bigger tithe when the time comes. I am in total support. Put a portion of your earning back into your head. When you put a portion of your earning back into your head, then you have the capacity to actually, make more money. And when you make more money, then you can become of more value to yourself, to society, and to students. So please take your time. 10,000 naira, 20,000 naira, 50,000 naira can actually make a difference. I'll give you an example. Every year myself, I actually take up to 4 different courses. Every year. It could be a degree, it could be a certificate, it could be a diploma. Every year, it could be just a professional qualification. Every year. Guess what? In 12 years, if I take 4 per year, in 12 years, you would have actually I would have 48 qualifications. Now, pure skills, because I'm not actually going to school to prove anything to somebody. I'm actually going to school to be able to equip myself. So I'm actually going there to learn. So I would have 48 qualifications. If I have 48 qualifications, guess what? If we go for a job interview together, you should already know that somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose, whether you pray or not. And that's how consistent, small effort over a period of time can actually make you a superstar before you know what you're doing. I want to, I know because we're talking I'm talking to a mixed crowd. I want to talk about, say something to the students. One thing you should know as a student when it comes to resilience is that every student is intelligent. I have never, ever seen a student that is not brilliant. But I've seen students who do not understand how their brain works. Because they do not understand how their brain works, they seem to be dull. So I'll give you an example. Everybody comes into school to start the term, probably 3 months term. For those who know they do not have capacity to quickly grasp concept or systems or what will be taught, it is advisable they start reading from the first day. So from the first day you get into school, you are already reading and covering all the course material. Whether you understand it or not, you read, it leads to questions, you reread, you reread, you reread. Before you know, you read 4 or 5 times that material. If you've read it 4, 5, 6, 7 times, when you come to the examination, everything becomes like a child's play. But we have students who do not understand that they need to start studying early. They wait till 2 weeks to the exams, and they want to compete with people who have photographic memories, who, before you ask the question, as long as they've seen it before, they could actually regurgitate it quickly. And that is why certain students look as if they are dull and other ones look as if they are intelligent. So when you're doing your SWOT analysis as a student, be able to understand how do you learn. Are you a fast learner? That's good. If you're not a fast learner, start studying early. When you start studying early, you will still achieve the same goal a person with a photographic memory achieves. And the last part I want to touch on is that you need to make learning a lifetime goal, a consistent goal. Like, take your time. Instead of watching Nigerian music, spend all those time on YouTube, acquiring new skills, acquiring new, understanding how the dynamics are put together, how this system fits together, or how this concept fits together to make up a whole system. Spend a lot of time putting a lot of things in, because there are 4 factors of production. You have, I heard you have labor, capital, entrepreneurship, and obviously I can't pick the first
land. Yeah.
Better still. As a teacher, what you have working for you is labor. What you have when you say is labor is your capacity to think. So if you junk a lot enough into your head, that means you're already controlling one factor of production. And maybe you're controlling one factor of production, automatically wealth is attracted because you are a major player in the game of capitalism. So please, now that you know probably entrepreneurship is on one end, probably you don't have that level of, to be able to think and own that system. You don't have enough cash to be able to call yourself a wealthy man. You do not have land, probably because you are a first generation major starter who probably the first person went to the university, the first person went to, do this master's and PhD. There's one thing you have, which is your capacity to think. And that is what is working for us today. It's our ability to think. It's our ability to outwork, outread, outstudy everybody we are with. That is what has set us apart in different countries we've been in, and that is what is still setting us apart. And I believe that if people like myself can do it, everyone who is listening today can even do it times 2. And in closing, I want to also refer back to Michael Jackson when he was, on his song when he says, "Heal the world and make it a better place." I think the best people who've actually healed the world and made the world a better place are teachers. And if I was actually in this event, I would love to have played the so we could really enjoy it, I know, as we wind down. Thank you so much, Mr. Peter. I'll welcome any question from listeners.
Yeah, thank you very much, Joshua. When you say if you can do it, virtually everyone else can do it. Without giving us too much information, what do you mean by that?
Oh, I can tell you very well. I believe you also know. I remember when as much as early as 2020, 2014, 2015, 2016, even up to 2018, I don't think I had 1,000 naira in my account. 1,000 naira was a luxury. There was only one thing I had in my head, a clear vision of where I wanted to be. I was never going to be poor. Anything that had to, any legitimate action I needed to take to be rich, I was going to take it. And I discovered early I needed to build my capacity to think and my capacity to solve problems. And how could I do it? Because I did not also have money to travel out to go to school, was to actually come read in your library. I read practically all the books. I think if anybody has read more books than myself, maybe I could be your sons. After that, I was actually the one who read it. And as I read and read and read and read, my mind really opened up. And as I picked few skills here and there, when I went to interviews, there was one of the interviews I went to, they were just going to use me for practice. Somebody they just bring in to warm up the day. I believe after the interview, the man said he had found his protege, and I became the head of business and market for one of the major finance research companies in Nigeria, I think ProShare at that time. And that actually set me up for success. So you can see how building from practically nothing, there was nothing anywhere. And I got to where I am today. I can't say what I've earned, but I could tell you that we make almost 100 million naira, technically speaking, in that range. I know we pay a lot of taxes and the rest of them, but we still make as much as that. For somebody without even up to 1,000 naira to be making that quantity of money, you should understand that it works.
Yeah, so very definitely. I can relate with what you are talking about. You invested in yourself. You were humble. You paid attention to learn while you were here, and you didn't stop there. apart from the certifications you did while you were in Nigeria, you also made a deliberate effort when you discovered the value of Western education in the true sense of it. You traveled to the UK, you did a master's, and you moved to the UK, to the US, and from there you're now in Canada. And that's the major reason why we consider this seriously for this intervention in terms of making a contribution. Because we have seen you over the years, consistently walking through your problems, overcoming all the obstacles, and carrying on with the things you have determined to achieve. Many thanks, Joshua, for joining us. We hope that we are gradually getting to summer, so it's not as cold as it used to be. So enjoy the rest of the day. I haven't seen your wife for a long time now. I do send our very warm regards to her. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.